Hello, I'm Jim Ellis from the World Data Lab's World Insight Competition, and you are competitors in that competition. And I'm back with another video, another tip as to how you can make your project look great. Well, I have another example from a professional data scientist at the World Data Lab, and it's a bar graph in two colors, true red and true blue. There's nothing complicated about this visual whatsoever. In fact, it's incredibly simple. I think what is beautiful about this is that the 5 and 5 rule works really well here. In 5 seconds, I can quickly wonder about the disparity between the data on the top and on the bottom, and looking across from 0 to 1 when it comes to this coefficient. Now, the complexity comes in understanding what's going on here, and that's what's going to keep me around for 5 minutes to wonder what I'm seeing and why. This is the Gini coefficients by products. Now, I'll be honest, I had to look up what the Gini coefficient was, and it turns out, and I'll tell you a little bit about it, it turns out that the Gini coefficient tells us about the distribution of the purchase of products across economic classes. So the lower the coefficient, the lower the number, the more the product is equally distributed and purchased amongst different economic classes. And the higher the number, the greater the difference between it. So maybe only the wealthy purchase certain things in these blue areas, for example, and the poor are left out. Or it could be vice versa. It could be only the poor who are purchasing these things and the rich are not. But that economic disparity exists. Okay, so let's break this down. In the first 5 seconds, I am seeing sugar, butter, maybe even coal have no real disparity between old and rich. I might be a little bit curious why coal is there. And then I'm noticing that there's a high disparity between things like cash gifts or taxes. And this really begins to make me wonder, how did this data scientist select these products and what kind of story might they be trying to tell? So I might go a little bit further and I start reading on the top now. We're past the 5 seconds and now I'm in my 5 minutes of reading and I'm seeing food here. Sugar, butter, non-dairy cream and imitation milk. Interesting. Salad dressing. Okay, most of the stuff is food in this area. And it looks like everyone has a relatively equal distribution of purchases of these things. And it makes some sense, but the one that really sticks out to me is non-dairy cream and imitation milk. Knowing what I know about the United States, it does tell me about the change in milk consumption in America over the last 20 years. What once was a wealthy product is no longer that way. So I happen to know a little bit about this particular one, and I'm now really stuck on this data. I want to know a little bit more about it. I don't understand where this data is coming from, who rents video cassettes anymore. So is this data outdated, or are they referring to things like Netflix as well? So I have some questions here on this one. And who's buying coal? Directly, probably not that many people. Is this coal for cooking on grills? Is this where they get their energy from that comes to their homes? I have a lot of questions about this top row, and that's fine. It's okay to have questions, but I do want to know more about it for sure. Then I get to the bottom part, and I'm going to be able to wonder very, very similar things. Why are cash gifts so different between the rich and poor? Capital improvements, I think that has to do with how you improve your home, getting a new kitchen, making an addition to your home, these sorts of things. Stocks, bonds, mutual funds, who's active in the stock market. These all sort of make sense to me. And then a few of them kind of stick out. The electric heating and air conditioning supply and equipment, taxes, entertainment services. I kind of want to know more about this. Why is there such a disparity between these? I also noticed that the absolute least, the smallest number in disparity is coal, and the group cascades upwards a little bit as the bottom end. And then I have the number with the greatest disparity, the stock market, the stocks, bonds, and mutual funds, down to the cash gifts. And I can look for trends there, but I can see that which one is the absolute highest in this grouping of 6. So I sort of have the 6 highest and the 6 lowest to think about and get through almost 5 minutes of digesting this data. Another thing I love about it is that it's just a bar graph tilted on its side. This is something that anybody can do. And so this is definitely within your reach and something that you could hope to achieve, creating a set of 12 bits of data broken into 2 chunks and making bar graphs out of them. And through that, you can tell a great story. Well, I hope you do, and I hope that your project is awesome. We cannot wait to see them later this spring and at the end of March, around March 20th. If you have any questions, contact us at the World Data Lab, Jim or Kat. We would love to reply to your emails or meet with you about your projects. We wish you the best of luck. Goodbye.